Columbia International College welcomes you to our June 2020 virtual graduation. We are so glad that you are able to join us from wherever you are around the world. My name is Kathy Turangi, Head of Student Development at the college, and it is my honor to be your host. This will look a little different than a typical graduation, but the premise is the same. We want to celebrate our students and their success, and also the excellence they have shown persevering through such unusual and difficult circumstances. We are so proud of all of you. The order of ceremonies will be as you see on the right-hand side of your screen. On the left of your screen, you will see the speakers, and on the right, you will see each graduate, their current university admissions, top subject prizes, and university entrance scholarship offers. Following this, we will have a special presentation, a slideshow, and a musical performance. At this time, our graduate Esther Alawode will perform O Canada. Thank you to Mr. Lawless, Esther, and many of our former graduates for preparing all of the music you will hear throughout the ceremony. Mr. Bill Ironside is a career Ontario teacher and has been leading Canadian schools here in Ontario and around the world for 12 years. He believes in inclusive schools that teach character as integral to classroom learning. Mr. Ironside takes great pride in the Ontario classroom. From the professionalism and dedication of our faculty and staff, to the active role the students take in directing their own learning. He believes that an Ontario secondary school diploma positions our graduates for success as they go on to pursue higher education. Mr. Ironside is very proud of this graduating cohort. This year's grads have shown great perseverance and determination and academic excellence in the face of the COVID-19 crisis. Today, he is a particularly proud principal. It is my pleasure to welcome Mr. Bill Ironside to address the graduates.
Welcome to our graduation, Mr. Chan, our valedictorian Tran An Fu, parents, staff, and especially to our impressive graduates. You are an extraordinary group of young women and men, and speaking as your principal, we are proud to honor you today. The very fact that we are having a virtual celebration here confirms an important fact, and that is no one graduates alone. Think about that, even in this time of physical distancing. Indeed, our goal today is to come together to celebrate just as we learn together. A graduate is part of a community of family, of friends, and school staff. In your time at Columbia, we all witnessed this community, both in our classrooms and hallways and residences, as well as in our virtual classrooms. Your successes and accomplishments shone through every day regardless, and here we are, as a community, still. To graduate literally means to step, and each step along your CIC path You have been assisted by everyone celebrating with you today. Your teachers, counselors, SD residents, and the entire total care staff not only challenged you with our lessons, they worked tirelessly for your well-being and your safety. Our staff took an interest in you and in your success, and they did their best to bring out your best. And let's not forget, especially now, that in our larger community and right here at Columbia International College, there are many on the front lines who, while risking their health and wellness, are making sure that you and I are safe and cared for. We need to be thankful to all of our frontline heroes. And of course, your parents. When we celebrate you today, we honor your parents too. You are their reflection, and you have grown into impressive young women and men. So, grads, please make sure that you take your very next opportunity to thank your parents. And today's message. Well, this is the point of my speech where I try to make a connection with you, find something meaningful, current, and relevant to buoy you up and say, good job. And I have to be honest with you. You've done a great job, and at the same time, I've really struggled today with the message. I want it to be real. I think we have to state the obvious, that you and I are living in a highly charged and emotional time. I could draw upon how every nation today is struggling with the human tragedy and the social and economic challenges of COVID-19. The news is not hopeful. We acknowledge systemic racism and its existence not only on the streets of America, where George Floyd was murdered by the face of authority, but also its insidious existence in every country and in every community. We adults know that Black Lives Matter. We adults know that injustice, whether it be racial, cultural, or economic, exists in our world. And I am sorry that injustice exists in your world. I am sorry that it's not better today for you than it was for your parents or myself when we were 18. It should be better. You really deserve better. So really, reading the daily news can be a grind these days. But when I come to work, when I talk to teachers about your successes, when I speak to a student about either a challenge or an opportunity in front of them, when I participate in our character awards, when, as your principal, I review those impressive midterm and final marks and learn of your university acceptances and scholarships, I am not just filled with pride, but I have a sense of hope in hearing your voices. It's my hope that your time at Columbia International College has been rewarding, filled with opportunities for growth and overcoming challenges. It's my sincere hope that as you find your stride, graduates, that you will be the right person to use your voice to make a difference, to be open to others and stamp out injustice, and know the science to eradicate a deadly virus like COVID-19. Now I would like to share with you the words of a CIC graduate who recently used her voice when she wrote the following. What I found interesting about CIC is that students from all different countries get along with each other. Interacting with friends and teachers makes it possible for us to learn valuable lessons and broaden our cultural perspectives, which I think is a unique experience. I am a better version of myself compared to a year ago. During my life at CIC, I met so many amazing friends that helped me realize I could be more outgoing. The activities I've joined at CIC, such as the Duke of Edinburgh Award, Model United Nations, and various other clubs and community service opportunities, have given me confidence, insight, and an open mind. So when I first read this, I knew this student was on point. Her open mind was the way forward. An open mind sets the foundation for good work ahead and one that is successful for you and for our world. An open mind will provide the opportunity and the strength to achieve our goals. I believe this you have already accomplished by the very fact that you are graduating. So your CIC class is now done. But the lesson here keeping an open mind plus using your voice equals change, and change for the better the world needs right now. So, as you move on to further studies and future careers, keep this in mind. It's not easy. It's not meant to be easy. It takes work and it takes courage, but I am confident in you and in your success. Graduates, congratulations. We are so very proud of you. Until we meet again.
Thank you. Liz Finney is a seasoned public affairs professional with over 25 years' experience within government, public sector, not-for-profit, and international organizations. She matches people with their passions through philanthropic giving, coaches and implements communication strategy and policy development. She is equally at ease with business and government leaders in advancing issues and building consensus, as she is working with staff and volunteers implementing projects. Valuing people and relationships has provided a lens for her when working at the highest levels on Parliament Hill in shaping public policy and Canada's response to global events, including Canada's hosting an historic meeting bringing together G8 and African Union leaders on issues of peace building, health, and education for all. Working with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to advance strategies for maternal and child health, advising Canada's position at the World Education Forum in Senegal, and roll back malaria in Nigeria. And on the impacts of climate change on small island developing states at the UN in New York City. But also advising the Prime Minister during an election to advancing higher education and research at some of Canada's leading universities, to the United Nations and the World Health Organization in promoting access to essential medicines around the world, particularly for children. Now she has returned home, where she is the Director of Gratitude and Philanthropy at Nova Scotia's only all-inclusive for adults living with intellectual disability, and later becoming a doula or coach for those who are nearing the end of life. It is my pleasure to welcome Liz Finney to address our graduates.
Hello, graduates of 2020. I'm so honored to have been invited to celebrate this special milestone with you. Your life experiences are like stepping stones, preparing your way and leading you forward on your journey. Your time here at Columbia with students from nearly 40 countries, topped off with the events of these last few months with a global pandemic, the social movement for change, and conflicts brewing on previously peaceful borders in some of your home countries, will shape how you view the world and what is truly important to you. These last few months have shown us in very dramatic ways just how interconnected we all are across the world. All people and all nations have been affected in some way. I would like to share with you a question and 3 wishes that I hope will help you as you step out of Columbia and into whatever comes next for you on your journey. Last year, I completed training to become a death doula, a coach for people approaching the end of their life. Do you know what is on the minds of people facing imminent death? They ask, did my life make a difference? Did I do enough for the people I love? Do I have regrets? Right now, visualize yourselves approaching your death. What are the questions you would ask? How would you want to be remembered? I challenge you that the answers to these questions are the key to living a fulfilling life. It has been 30 years since I graduated from high school. At the time, I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to do when I grew up. Was it law, medicine, social work, international relations, or maybe international development? While I didn't know exactly the path my life would take, I'm happy to report that it's been an amazing adventure so far, that I chalk up to 3 things I wish for you, and that I've learned to do along the way. First, living my purpose. Second, being kind. Third, being strong. Seeing the world as bigger than myself, my community, and my country is something I felt from a very young age. I learned early the impact of human actions, our interconnectedness, and the importance of human relationships. Throughout my life, wherever we went, whether at home, in our community, or while traveling, my father used to say, Leave it better than you found it. He meant the kitchen counter or an encounter with a stranger on the street, equally. Treasuring every day, I also learned early with the death of one of my best friends. We don't get a do-over. I realized early I wanted to travel, develop relationships, and gain understanding of people and their experiences to improve the quality of life for myself, my family, my community, my country, and the world. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. It's when I'm doing these things that I'm filled with joy. What I didn't know at the time was that I had found my purpose, my values, and mission, a compass that would guide me. Living my purpose and asking myself if something aligns with my values has guided my heart and head in making decisions, big and small, every day. As a result, I've been blessed with an amazing journey so far. From spending time in every Canadian province, gaining an understanding and appreciation for the people and landscape of this country, to working and traveling in nearly all of the world's continents, and perhaps most significantly, at home as a spouse and a parent. They say, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Living with purpose and recognizing how our actions impact those far beyond ourselves is also something that I've admired among leaders I've worked with along the way. Members of Parliament who took the high road in representing their constituencies in Ottawa and when bringing federal policies home to their communities, even when it was unpopular with colleagues and very difficult. Cabinet ministers who deeply believed in human rights and social justice and advanced these issues both here in Canada and internationally. Prime ministers who passionately pursued a better Canada and were always curious to know what people in different parts of the country were thinking and experiencing. United Nations organizations filled with people from all nations of the world, guided by their values and working together to protect the world's environment, responding to humanitarian crises, and promoting better health globally, often placing themselves in harm's way to help others. Being kind. Be kind to yourself and others. Relationships with ourselves and others are the most important thing in this world. I once heard an analogy comparing people to a can of pop that has stuck with me. Cans of pop may look similar on the outside, but you don't know what they've been through or what will happen when you open them up until you do. Has the can been shaken? Will its contents explode when you pull the tab? Has the can been damaged? Will its contents be flat, having lost their fizz? Or, when you pull the tab, will the contents be refreshing, offering a stimulating new taste, or the comfort of something familiar? People are like a can of pop. From the outside, we do not know what we'll find inside, so treat everyone gently and with kindness. I currently work with adults living with an intellectual disability. Many of them have not always been treated with kindness, respect, and dignity, yet they choose to welcome others with genuine caring, resilience, and warmth. Many people who walk through our doors will say that a visit to Bonnylee Farm is life-changing because of the way they are made to feel. So be kind to yourself and others. Treat yourself the way you would treat your best friend, with kindness, patience, and respect. For others, offer a smile, a kind gesture, a word of encouragement. What might seem like a small thing can make a world of difference in someone else's life. And finally, being strong. I'd be wrong to tell you that it will all be easy. There will be people and experiences along the way that may steer you off course. Knowing and living your purpose can help you to step out of your comfort zone and act in ways that are consistent with your values and say no with confidence to the opportunities that are not. Be prepared for others to challenge you. It will take strength to decide how you will spend your time, resources, and energy in all areas of your life, your work, your play, your family, your friends. True strength also means seeking or accepting help when you need it, learning from others, and growing through challenges. I'm grateful for the opportunities I've had to live my values within my family, my community, and the world. And I can, without a doubt, feel that I've somehow made a difference, and that in some way I will leave things better than I found them. My wish for you, class of 2020, is that you will live in a way that you will enjoy looking back at your life, knowing that your life made a difference in big ways and small ways, every day. You may not be able to alter the past, but you can influence the future, one day at a time.
Thank you for that very meaningful message to our graduates. It comes as no surprise that Tran An Fu, also known as Paul, was voted the valedictorian for this class. Paul arrived at Columbia International College in March of 2018. Staff quickly noticed that Paul had a desire to get involved in his new community. Within no time, he became a student leader in our service prefect team. He had participated in multiple service trips, including the Hamilton Victory Gardens and the Terry Fox Run. And then he began organizing many service events, including the 30-hour famine and the Global Health Mission for Doctors Without Borders. Paul also was selected for the Elite Pathway Partnership Program, where he participated in many events, including a trip to Ecuador, where he and his peers assisted in building a school in a developing area. Paul's desire to help others is an inspiration to all. It is my pleasure to welcome Tran An Fu Paul to give this year's valedictory address.
I have to be honest, I am extremely nervous right now, especially with Mr. Brandon here, and although technically I am speaking to an empty room. We might not be able to celebrate our graduation in person with our friends and teachers by our side, but that does not mean that this virtual graduation is any less special and important. In case you have not seen me yet, my name is Paul. We had food at Chopwells together. Those were good times. Also, follow me on Instagram. To begin, from the depth of my heart, I would like to say thank you to Mr. Ironside, Mrs. Reed, and Mr. Clement Chan for creating such a supportive and caring environment for our time at high school. Thank you to all the teachers who are willing to put up with our laziness and extend the deadline. Thank you to all my friends who diligently wake me up at 8:30 every day so I don't have to miss my quiz. You guys are the best. Thank you to all the staff at our residence for taking care of us during these trying times. And especially, thank you to my parents for loving me and for helping me to realize that maybe, just maybe, dreaming of becoming a Superman is, well, not unrealistic after all. Graduates, we have done it. After all these months and years of hard work and determination, we have managed to graduate from high school, transitioning ourselves from teenagers into adulthood. It would be a dream of mine to say that this is it. From now on, life would be much easier and we wouldn't have to worry much about anything else. However, that is not the case. The end of high school is just the beginning. As awaiting for us all subsequently is a full of adversity adventure. The world we live in right now is far from perfect. Racism, climate change, and infectious disease are among the many problems that are plaguing the world right now. It might seem overwhelming, and it surely is, but it is our duty and responsibility as the next generation to bring the desperate change that the world needs. Across America, the youth, regardless whether they are Asians, Latinos, Blacks, or Caucasians, are flooding the streets, demanding justice for George Floyd, justice for Breonna Taylor, and justice for all the minorities that have lost their lives and families due to the unjust legal system. Also, only a few months ago, inspired by Greta Thunberg, thousands of youths from around the globe took to the streets in protest of climate change and appealed for urgent actions from the government. Those are just some examples of how the youths of our generation is making waves, is making changes to the world as we know it. It is scary to imagine that 20 years later down the road, if an infectious disease like COVID-19 occurs again, although I really hope that it does not happen, we would be the steering wheel of humanity. We might be the frontline workers working hours and hours to save lives, or conducting research and testing to find the vaccines. We could also be the economists or politicians who will implement policies in order to lessen the social and economic burden of the disease. It doesn't have to be another COVID. It could be an economic depression or a natural disaster that affects the globe. But whatever it is, we are the ones that hold the responsibility to drive humanity forward. As Shakespeare and Channing Tatum once said, some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. In life, we cannot always expect success to be thrown at us upon the dawn of life, or count on the fact that success might stumble upon us one day. However, I believe that we were all born with a definite purpose and that we are all destined for greatness. Greatness is always within our grasp. O. Henry, the famous author, was confined in a prison cell. Thomas Edison's teacher once said that he was too stupid to learn anything before Edison himself became one of the greatest inventors of all time. Michael Jordan was dismissed from his high school basketball team before becoming one of the greatest scorers in NBA history. Their names will last as time endures, as they have transmuted their intangible desire into tangible greatness, and they did not let adversity step into their way of success. Everyone can be recognized as greatness. Sometimes the time might just not be right, but remember that recognition will come eventually. The store cashiers and the bus drivers who we forgot to say thank you to just a few months ago are now considered heroes and essential to our society. In closing, if there's anything else you take from today, don't be afraid of failure, because failure is a seed of success. A definite purpose combined with persistence and a growing desire to follow through will lead you to greatness. Let your ambitions and passions be the alarm clock that wakes you up every day. Class of June 2020, go out and be great. Thank you.
Our Vice Principal, Diana Reed, comes to us with 18 years of experience in education. She has been a teacher, department head, and vice principal at schools throughout the Peel region. She is a passionate and enthusiastic educational leader who believes in the importance of building relationships, supporting staff, and creating inclusive and welcoming classrooms for students to learn and grow. Diana always asks the question, what is best for students? Diana?
Firstly, it is both an honor and privilege to serve the Columbia community as your very proud Vice Principal. I would like to thank you for the opportunity to provide a few short remarks to our June 2020 graduates, their families, and our total care team. CIC graduates, parents, and Columbia staff, today is a celebration of our June graduates. We not only celebrate their graduation today, we celebrate all the character traits they displayed to make today's accomplishment a reality. June grads, you demonstrated the ability to face adversity head-on and succeed. You are resilient, flexible, hardworking, compassionate, goal-driven young men and women. The lessons you have learned over these past 4 challenging months will serve you well in post-secondary school and beyond. At many a future job interview, you may be asked how you faced a problem and solved it, or how you have faced an obstacle and overcome it. You all have this lived experience to reference. You persevered through a worldwide pandemic as international students and graduated high school. Many of you completed your courses while still inside our residences, while others lived locally or returned home. You managed, changed in schedules, isolation from family and friends, and a change to remote learning with grace, humility, and understanding. Some managed different time zones, while others needed to dig deep to find intrinsic motivation to finish. What you all have in common is you succeeded, you graduated, you did it. I know you learned many lessons in your Google Classrooms and completed multiple assessments successfully, but I hope you realize you have learned so much more than curriculum. You learned to adapt to a new reality where we had no historical reference point to draw upon. You demonstrated exceptional character. You adjusted to what we are now calling the new normal. Dear students, you took care of yourselves and each other. You remained positive and found happiness in simpler things. In life, I have come to learn that we truly grow in times of challenge. One of my favorite authors and poets, Dr. Maya Angelou, once said, "You may encounter defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter defeats so you know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can still come out from it." I know that each of you can remember a time at Columbia where you thought about giving up, whether it was because of homesickness, a fight with a friend, a huge assignment, or a final mark that didn't meet your expectations. You could have been defeated, but you weren't. You didn't give up. I am hopeful you will take the lessons learned during your time at CIC, and these past months in particular, to remind you that if life becomes difficult, you can succeed, persevere, and rise above. I would like to take this moment to also acknowledge the dedication, resiliency, commitment, and sacrifice of every member of our Total Care team. We are incredibly proud of our Total Care education and the academic, social, emotional, and physical support we give. We are even more proud of how this team has come together during this pandemic to ensure that every single student and staff member was safe and well. As you graduate today, know there was an entire team behind you, supporting in you and believing in you. Graduates, in closing, I would like to leave you with a famous quote that has been shared with me many times throughout the years. I hope it inspires you as much as it has me. Whenever you find yourself doubting how far you can go, just remember how far you have come. Remember everything you have faced, all the battles you have won, and all the fears you have overcome. Graduates of 2020, congratulations. We are proud of your success today and look forward to your accomplishments in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. We have arrived at a very special part of today's ceremony, the various awards and scholarships that are given to graduates for their excellence both within and outside of the classroom. These scholarships are all made possible by the Columbia International College Endowment Fund, a charitable organization that is run by an independent board of directors who are unpaid volunteers. They believe in the power and potential of youth to make a difference in the world, and the students at Columbia International College are no exception. Since 2009, they are proud to have given out over $500,000 to CIC students and an additional $45,000 to local community organizations where students have volunteered their time. They are grateful to their generous individual and corporate donors, alumni, and parents of Columbia International College for giving to this fund. Should you wish to help support our students, please see the link at the bottom of your screen. At this time, please join me in welcoming CIC Founder and Executive Director, Mr. Clement Chan, to address our graduates.
This is my gift for the class of 2020 at Columbia International College. We are richer together. We bid farewell and are now separated by oceans and mountains. In the past year, together at Columbia International College, we grew and we strive for higher goals. At this moment of compulsory physical distancing, we cannot be together, but we all have peace of mind. At long last, without joint effort, you are still able to complete another important phase of your life. You continue to seek for higher and richer accomplishments as our common goal. Let our cheering and clapping commemorate those precious moments our beloved teachers and staff have arranged for us. Simply remember, at this moment in time, we are all in this together. Tomorrow, you will go separate ways to different corners of the world, and your life will continue to be rewarding and colorful. I strongly believe one day we will meet again.
This concludes our graduation ceremony for June 2020. A celebration such as this one takes an enormous amount of planning and effort on the part of many individuals. Thank you to everyone who helped make this event possible. Now, to close out our ceremony, we have a very special rendition of UIC CIC that was created by Mr. Lawless. We have welcomed back many of our former graduates to send messages and sing for you, and we feature Christiana Ose singing UIC CIC. Congratulations, graduates.
Hello, CIC graduates. We are the 2017 CIC Orchestra.
Along the way you travel to the further path, always remember, never be trapped by your laziness, always step out of the comfort zone.
I know this year is a really challenging year, but I hope you can sleep well, eat well, play well, and have a happy life. You know, everything will be gone. Life is rough, so you're gonna be tough.
I hope you can achieve a higher life achievement and value in your future life.
Sleep well when you can, eat well when you can, and most importantly, be yourself.
Hello all CIC graduates. Let me start by saying congratulations to all students and the staff. To students because I know it's tough, it's not easy to do the courses online, but you guys did a great job, so congrats. And to the staff because it was never easy to do something that hasn't been done before, and you guys made it happen.
Just wanted to say huge congratulations to each one of you, and I hope you guys are staying true to yourselves, follow your dream, and envision your goal. Listen to your heart because it knows best, and enjoy the ride.
Congratulations to all of you. Today is a big day, and I bet all of you will miss your time in CIC after going to university, and keep being passionate on the things that you love, and also keep in touch with your friends, your classmates, your teachers, because they will definitely be your best friend in your whole life. And I wish all of you have a bright future and enjoy your day.
Now you are here to endeavor on a new journey, and I'm here to wish you all the best. You are going to build a lot more nice memories to remember from now on, and I wish you all the best going forward.
I hope the graduates for this year can have fun as much as they can when they get to universities, but also study hard.
step into the future. Let's not neglect the past. Those people who we met, who made us who we are at last. We came here a stranger, now we leave as such good friends. I stand before all of you to say, it's the beginning and not the end. It's you I see, CIC. 1,000 faces, none of that can be. It's you I see, CIC. Wherever I go, you always be a big part of me. School days were such good times, laughing with my friends in the lunch line. Study hard, listen to the teacher, learn something new every day. So